Israel Defense Forces ground operations continued in the Gaza Strip. The Israelis conducted air and artillery strikes and raids on militant positions in Jabalia in the north of the enclave. IDF moved reinforcements to Jabalia to expand the operation. The neighboring town of Beit Hanun remains blockaded. Israeli forces also combed the area around Al-Zaytun on several occasions. Ground campaigns in southern Gaza resulted in the IDF destroying several Palestinian faction sites. At the same time, the IDF bombed the Az-Sabra neighborhood of the enclave's capital city. The target of another raid was a clinic of the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, where at least 50 people were staying. In response to the IDF attacks, Palestinian factions struck Israeli towns. Thus, from Jabalia territory, they launched several salvos towards Sderot. Meanwhile, in the central part of the enclave, the IDF carried out strikes on Palestinian factions' facilities. Another Israeli Air Force airstrike on Al-Braj camp killed some 40 people. The situation was much more stable in Deir al-Bala, where refugees from the south of the enclave are arriving. Due to the formation of tent settlements in the city, the intensity of shelling decreased. In the southern part of the Palestinian enclave, the Israelis continue their ground operation. The IDF was most active in the east in the vicinity of Rafah. At the same time, Palestinian factions returned fire at the positions of Israeli troops. Thus, the Kerem Shalom checkpoint and the Rafah checkpoint were subjected to almost daily rocket and mortar attacks. Israeli security forces continue to conduct police operations in the West Bank. As a result of past raids, the number of arrested Palestinians in the region exceeded 8,600. In addition, rallies by the Arab population took place in several cities and settlements in the Palestinian Authority. The actions are timed to coincide with the anniversary of the mass exodus of Palestinians during the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, better known as the Nakba. At the same time, several terrorist attacks occurred inside Israel. In Haifa, at least 3 Israeli soldiers were injured in a car collision. A Palestinian stabbed an IDF sergeant in Huwara, south of Nablus. After combing the area, security forces managed to apprehend the attacker. On the northern border, the IDF and Hezbollah continued exchanging fire throughout the week. The number of shelling by the Lebanese group increased comparatively. For the first time since the beginning of the escalation, the Shiite group hit a military facility at a considerable distance from the battle line. An observation balloon near the town of Tiberias was damaged in a drone attack. In turn, Israeli forces again attacked southern Lebanon. Among others, the neighborhoods of the city of Baalbek, far from the border, were bombed.